So Eric, are you gonna say a Christmas story, considering that Christmas is like in a few days and you're heading off?
You want a Christmas story? Okay.
No crap.
Okay, I'm gonna get right to the story. Okay, first let me say though, Merry Christmas. And that 2017 is as good of a year to put love in your heart as any. So please remember the real meaning of Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. I'm gonna be visiting my Kansas City family, so we're gonna do a little bit of a Royals thing here. Go Royals, but might I say, go Cubs. Go Cubs, go. Anyway, that's 2 years back-to-back championships. I think it's our relationship that did it, to be honest. Anyway, the story at hand. As most people realize, Cameron is my much younger brother. A lot of people erroneously assume that he's my son, but he's my brother. We have an older brother, Jason, who's 4 years older. Now, Cameron is, almost a teenager. A few years before that time, Jason was about 10 years old. I'm 4 years younger. I was like 6, 7, something like that. I think I was 6. And we were at my grandmother's house in Chicago. People might remember on basically 63rd in Nashville, the old neighborhood, Garfield Ridge Clearing, it depends on what you think it is. Anyway, we were in that house, and it's just a simple little ranch house, and it's not many places to hide and to get away with the antics that we tried to get away with. Anyway, so it's Christmas. I don't know if it's Eve, but it's the day before, 23rd, 24th, something like that. My mom goes out, so Mom's out, and she's getting more presents, wrapping presents over by our grandmother, our maternal grandmother, Bubby, the Shuttler family, here in Bridgeview, mind you, just a few blocks away from where I now sit, in this house here, 3 blocks away. You don't fall far from the tree, I guess. Bridgeview is home, what can I say? For better or for worse. So, my dad's working 2 jobs, and he's tired. My mom goes and she leaves, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, noon, something like that. My dad falls asleep, and he's dead out. I mean, he is out cold. That dude is passed out.
Was he drunk?
A little bit.
He was stoned?
No, stoned.
What was he drinking?
He was probably drinking. He still drank at the time. It was probably Killian's Red, to be honest. That was his beer of choice at the time when he wanted to drink well. Otherwise, he just drank old style because he was poor and cheap. But piss water is piss water. I don't know. Anyway, yes,
That's why
he was semi-drunken, as he would often get a little bit drunken on Christmas Eve. My family, as dysfunctional as it was, we would all go to Bubby's house down the way, and my dad would sit around watching It's a Wonderful Life, and that was his Christmas Eve tradition. Sitting there pretending to be George Bailey, I guess. I don't know. It's a Wonderful Life nonetheless. I, on the other hand, like Scrooge. Thus, remember, put a little love in your heart. Anyway.
You look a lot like Scrooge. I can see the resemblance.
I have a little bit of a Scrooginess
paint
too.
your green and you'll be fine.
The Grinch, I've always wanted it to be the Grinch.
Sadly, you can't win.
There's always...
The Grinch is a douchebag,
He's a douchebag.
He'd be messing with little girls at night.
That dude's messed up. He's messing with a little girl at night. That guy's a little straight.
He lied to
He's green but he's green and hairy, and that's something to aspire to.
Well, he did change his ways.
He did change his ways, and we all can put a little love in our heart. Even the Grinch.
Yeah, bless the tiniest heart.
His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
I don't see how that's possible.
And the Grinch with his cold, grinchy feet in the cold, grinchy snow, whatever. His heart, anyway, I know. His heart grew 3 sizes that day. Just remember that.
Eric isn't now part of the story.
I know it's not part of the story, but it's a bigger story about Christmas. Bear with me here.
Okay. Let's get back to the chase.
Anyway, my dad was drunkenly sleeping on the couch in the front. we're in the back of the house. It's just a small little ranch house, and there's an addition in the back that my grandfather had built, probably drunkenly with his friend, many years before. We are now living in this house that my grandfather built some of, and my dad grew up in. My grandmother was now living with Bert in the apartment that Bert owned a few blocks away. His mom, right, my paternal grandmother, Grandma Kalick.
Clack.
Anyway, my mom is gone. Getting back to the story, my mom is gone, and basically, quite simply, Jason had caught wind. Some way, somehow.
The
little birdie came on down on his shoulder and it told him. Okay? It told him. He knew where the Christmas present.
I see where this is gonna go. This is bad.
Yeah. Now you got a 10-year-old and like a 6-year-old. You're
bad. Very temptation.
That's a good word. Into temptation we were led. There in my parents' bedroom closet, the hatch up into the attic was easily removed, and my mom had taken to putting the presents up in the closet. Somehow he had caught wind of this. My dad was asleep, and it's a day or two before Christmas. And here's what really got us. Back in the time, they used to have wrestling dolls when they first came out. They were a little bit bigger. They're kind of rubbery. They had an awesome ring, you know, and you would have like cage matches. It was a much better ring. And they were much better guys. And I remember having all those action figures. I remember going to Venture down the way with Bubby, and she'd buy me Ricky the Dragon Steamboat one day. I loved those things. And I played with them. They had the little football helmet guys. I put the little plastic football helmets on them, and I lined them up, and we played football. And let me tell you, I had an awesome line because I had Andre the Giant. No, this is my offensive line. I had my left tackle was Andre. King Kong Bundy was my left guard. I had Hulk Hogan as my center. George the Animal Steel was my right guard, and Big John Studd was my right tackle. Now you tell me that those 5 dudes wouldn't run over anybody in the NFL. You put those 5 dudes out there, people are dead.
Unfortunately, most of them are dead.
They're all dead, I think. Actually, not George, and not Hogan, although he's emotionally dead. But no, seriously, like, do you imagine those big dudes coming? I mean, that's some serious running yards right there. That's some power football. Anyway, I had these guys, and they were great. Like a lot of kids, we were into this kind of mascot era. And the British Bulldogs had Matilda. And what really got us was that Jason knew that, or he suspected, that my mom had bought us the tag team of the British Bulldogs.
Did she really?
She did. And the British Bulldogs. And there was what was called the Dream Team, which is Greg the Hammer Valentine, which is Jason's favorite wrestler, and Brutus Beefcake before he became the Barber. He was just Brutus Beefcake. Or Von Beefcake, or whatever they first called it.
Okay.
Or Von Baron Beefcake.
Okay, let's get to
the guy only had like 17.
Let's get to the funny trick.
It's funny already. Anyway, so we're like, okay, well, where is this? And he goes, well, it's up in the closet. What we can do is take them out and check and see what we got or didn't get.
How is this a good idea?
This is not a good idea.
This is dense. How are you going to
really
run some and put it back in?
I was 6.
You must got a big whipping with us.
My dad did want to whoop. You'll see. Anyway, so my mom's gone, and Jason goes up in the closet, and he starts bringing them down. Oh, man. They're getting all these toys, and there's like Thundercats and stuff. Man, this is 1986, 87-ish. This is a real deal, man. This is like, you know... We're coming off of WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3 era, you know. Man, these are great action figures. We're having a great time. We bring them out. We go in the back room with them. And we're like, well, we'll take them out. We'll take them out and play with them. So we're going to put them back. We're going to put them back in the packages and put them back. And Mom will never know.
Oh, wow. This is not a good idea.
No, it's not.
How are you going to rewrap them?
Here's the thing. Well, that's the thing. See, it's not my fault, though, as a 6-year-old, and Jason not really thinking this through, that they put these things in there like they're effing made of gold Fort Knox. They got like a million things on them. We're not thinking about it. So we started tearing the packages. We started like tearing the boxes, not thinking about how you're going to put the and I mean when we tore it, I mean we tore the shit out the box. I mean, It was obliterated shit all over the board. My dad's snoozing, sleeping. You can hear him. He's down and out. We're going to play with these mugs. We're going to play with these things. Here, let's wrestle. All right. All this stuff was just going fine. Somewhere in there, we caught on the idea that my dad was going to wake up. And it hit my 6-year-old brain. I can't put it back in the package right. I can't get it back. So now, we're like, oh shit. So you know how kids are. It's like you bust a vase and then you try to glue it back together. Mom won't know. It's the same idea. It looked like effing Frankenstein tried to put you know what I mean? Like, it's like two blind guys trying to reconstruct these things. I mean, it's like, it would be like putting together Mr. Potato Head and like putting his foot in his eye socket. You know what I mean? Like, this shit was not going to fly. But we're like, look, we got to sneak it by Dad, get it in the closet, and then when Mom goes to wrap it, she won't know. Because Mom, no, she's not going to know. I tore the shit out of it. It thing needs to be stitched back together. That's how bad it is. It needed effing like staples in your head, kind of like head wound. That was how bad it was. So my dad starts waking up, and we put it back, and it's a mess. The problem is now he's waking up.
He got all this wrapping paper. But
that's the thing. See, they weren't wrapped. But we had all the cardboard, like, shred bits and shit on the floor. My dad gets up, and he catches on. That dude is like, yo, something ain't right. Something ain't right up in this. And he starts getting suspicious. And he goes, what have you guys been doing? My dad was, he'd get a little iffy. He'd be like, he's the kind of guy, he's old school South Side. He'd be like, yo, you know what I say this? Actually said this to my dogs this week. I feel bad almost. Like, let him outside. My dad would like go play, go outside, do whatever, and he'd say to Jason, you're gonna fight, I'm coming out swinging. Like, that was his answer to it. It was like, you do something, I'm coming swinging. I'm telling you right now, I will beat your ass. And he didn't even hide it. Like, he would whoop your ass. So my dad is like that, because he starts catching on. He's like, oh man, what have you guys been doing? How long was I asleep? Oh, I don't know, Dad, 2-3 hours. Oh, what's the stuff on the floor? I don't know. I was never much the lying type. I don't know. Jason, on the other hand, he tried to get through that. I, on the other hand, was always a little bit more forthcoming. I said to my dad, we were looking at the presents. You
a dumbass. You're not supposed to admit to the crime. That's like saying you stole a cracker at a bar mitzvah.
Something like that. Anyway, so my dad got wise. He went, he goes in the closet, he brings it, I don't even know how he kept it together. He got so mad. It was like, belt is coming off, people are going to get their ass whooped. Like biblical ass whooping kind of stuff. He was mad. I don't know if he called. This is the saving grace, I'm dead serious. I don't know if he called my grandmother. Or she just came over. But she showed up. Thank God she showed up. Because otherwise we were going to get black and blue ass. We were going to get lit up. The Christmas was not happening. Anyway, my grandmother showed up. Thank God. And she goes, Steve, what's going on? He goes, Mom, they tore up all the presents. Like, my dad to this day is still a little mad about this. Like, if he sees this video, he's going to be like, it wasn't funny. He goes, he'll tell you right now. He'll be like, look, it is not funny. This is a dumb story. And they're all dumb stories. Anyway, my grandmother comes over. She goes, Steve, they're just kids. She had 3 kids. She had 2 boys, my dad and my Uncle Tom, and they had their antics in the house too. And she's like, Steve, just let it go, let it go. He goes, Mom, when Sherry gets home, she's going to flip. She's going to flip. And there's my grandmother. I'm not saying that she's like a sweet, kind, peaceful woman type thing. But for one moment in her life, I must say, she was very calming. And she's like, Steve, there's nothing that you guys didn't do. So there's my poor grandmother. I'll always remember sitting there with these presents on the floor with a roll of Scotch tape, like trying to piece together the boxes to try to make them somewhat presentable again. So there she is. And I always remember sitting outside. There was a stoop outside by the back door. I always remember out this back door side to the backyard from this addition in the back of where we tore this shit up. And I remember sitting out there with my grandmother and she being like, Eric, you know, you're really not supposed to do stuff like that. I don't know if Christmas is really going to come this year. Santa might get upset. And it just might not happen. And I remember being really sorry and being like, I was just a little kid. I didn't think it through. And Jason was not going to be given, you know, a lot of punishment, I guess, either.
Why?
Well, I mean, he wasn't to be expected to not make mistakes, too.
So did Mom get...
Mom... Now, bear in mind that we would have got our ass whooped pretty good. We probably got a little bit of an ass whooping, but we didn't get the ridiculous ass whooping we should have got. My grandmother kept things kind of quiet, and I don't even know how my dad had the guts to do it. I don't even know how he had the guts to do it. But my mom comes home, and it's kind of funny because I get these things, I guess, from my dad. People have said to me, like, if I need something or I want something, I'll always be like, Mom, or like, Cam. Hey, Cam,
yeah.
You think you can help me with something?
No, yeah,
but,
sure.
But it always starts the same way. It always starts the same way. And maybe I get the cadence from my dad. And my mom comes home, and he, as nicely as he can, says, Sherry, I got something I got to show you. She goes, what's going on? She starts getting all upset. You know, she starts getting like, what's going on? Is someone hurt? Like, everyone's fine. I got to show you. So the boys, yeah, they yeah, I'm just going to show you. And my mom was like, oh, geez, no. So they go into the bedroom where he has, I mean, it's almost like laying out evidence against you. You know, it's like going to court or something. You know, it's like going to court for not having a fishing license. Which did happen, and that's a whole nother story, but that one's for next time. the ticket for not fishing without a license. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so it's laid out on the bed, all of it, Frankenstein together. My mom comes in and she sees it on the bed. Steve, what the hell happened? Now, my dad, you got to bear in mind, it's his fault. Because that dude fell asleep. And had something happened to us, it would have been all his fault. So he knew deep down. He knew that he was the one who really screwed up. He shouldn't have fallen asleep. Because anything could have happened. He's got lucky no one got hurt, right?
Yeah.
So my mom's there, and she starts flipping her shit out. She just flipping. I remember her being mad. I remember her being like, fuck it, I'm not even making dinner. I think we ordered pizza. She's like, I just give up. I'm signing out. I'm done. She's like, I give up. Again, my grandmother, Sherry, it's going to be all right. Mom, no, it's not all right. It's not. It is what it is now. My mom, God bless her soul, wrapped all the presents back up, wrapped them, put them under the tree. Day later, 2 days later, we opened them up and we played like actual normal kids. But I'll tell you, I'll never forget those torn out packages, Frankenstein back together. Just trying to get to my British Bulldogs. I always wanted the family's Rougeaus. Honest, personally. That's just me. Especially because, you know, when Jacques smashed him in the face with the roll of quarters and knocked Dynamite Kid's teeth out and knocked that motherfucker out. I always liked the Rougeaus. Anyway, it was hard to get the Rougeaus for whatever reason. Anyway, it was all because of the British Bulldogs.
This is already 20 minutes.
I know. Well, these are long stories. But anyway, we almost ruined Christmas. The British Bulldogs almost ruined my Christmas when I was 6 years old. And I want, rest in peace, Davey boy, but I want that prick Dynamite Kid to know it's your fault that my Christmas was almost ruined when I was 6 years old. It's your fault, you old decrepit screwball. It's you. Great wrestler. Terrible human being, but whatever. You got what was coming to you. Good job, Jacques. Anyway, that is how the British Bulldogs almost ruined the Christmas of 1986.
Okay, so
or 87.
Thank you everyone for watching the video. Please leave a like or dislike. Whatever you choose. And thank you for watching the video.